Okay, everybody. So, welcome to the Redbank Village Tour. Some of you may have seen this tour before here on my channel. Right now, we're just kind of doing it over a little bit. I didn't really provide a lot of narration other than shouting out street names. And again, here we are. We're going to turn on to Wainwright Circle West. This is a great street. A lot of good families lived here. The Carmichaels, the Kitchens, the Farrells, Jimmy Dow lived there, Mike Rice, Kevin LaRue actually lived up there for a while too. He went to elementary school with us for a bit. Who else lived over here? Oh, of course, we had the Fosses, the Bowdens, Chuck Guay, his mom and his brother Rick lived there. Quite a few people, actually, over on this side. Of course, I can't remember everybody, and if I don't, please forgive me. I'm old. What can I say? I don't know what to tell you. The Wellingtons right there, dead center. And, of course, you had the Gleasons and the Morongs over here on the right in the 3 bedrooms. This is Buckley Road. Short little road, not much to it. Some would still consider this either Wayne Right West or Mac West, MacArthur West, which is what we're on right now. We're coming up to MacArthur West. Slow down, Steve. Don't run these people over. Yeah, see, sometimes I'm a nice guy. We had the Jensens that lived over here on Mac West, as well as Joe Miller, and, of course, Tim Tibbetts and his mom lived over here. We had the Wagners. Wagnes, lived down the street here, just a little bit in that 3 bedroom. And Basketball Bob over there in the 2 bedroom. And, of course, off to the left is the, what we used to call the office. It's the leasing office for the property. Now we're going to go on to Mac East, MacArthur Circle East. Everything is a circle here in Redbank, with the exception of 2 roads, Powers and Colin Kelly. They run parallel and split the village, or rather border the village, either side of it, which is cool. The old school used to be up there. There's one of the entrances there. The school has since been torn down quite a few years ago. I'm not sure on the exact date. Susan Roberts, if you're watching this, I'm sure you would know. Susan's pretty much kind of a historian on Redbank. She knows a whole lot more than I do. Coming up here onto Powers Road, of course, we have the McNeils over there, the Coopers, the Marstons, the Turcottes, the Yorks, the Strouts. Coming down on Wainwright East, we had the Mills family, the Buffard family, the Marston family. We had the Conans over here for a little bit, the father. We had the Jewetts, the Waddingtons, the Burks, the Connors, the Murphys, my God, yes, Darren and Alicia and Lori and their brother, I forget his name, forgive me. Let's see, the Allens in the 2 bedroom there. George Larrabee lived down here, the Larrabees. And, of course, who else? We had the DeBiases over one road over as well. Swayzes were down here. Yeah, quite a few families just in, this one section that I can remember. And, of course, we had Larry Albert, who lived up here on MacArthur. Larry, lifer there, was a lifer there. He's in San Francisco now. Shout out to Larry. Hey, Larry. Hope all is well out there on the West Coast. I understand you just had a milestone birthday, if I'm not mistaken, according to Jay. Congratulations. My Aunt Winnie and Uncle Clayton used to live there. And, of course, there's the leasing office now, and all that's changed. There used to be hedges that went up through there, great big trees. It was really nice back in the day. We used to have a basketball court over here as well. There's a brand spanking new one there now on the grounds of the school, where the school used to sit, rather. There is a gymnasium over there as well, a community building. And of course, I don't know why, but I turned back down here at Mackey's, probably to go up and see the front of the school where it used to be, on Powers Road. Is that considered Powers Road? I don't think it's considered Powers Road anymore. I think that's still MacArthur Circle. And we had these barracks units. They're one-bedroom units. Redbank, of course, consisted of one-bedroom, two-bedroom, and three-bedroom duplexes, where we all grew up. That's where the school sat, and it's now a community park. That was done up rather nicely. I was a little disappointed to see the school gone when I came back from Maryland. I think the school made the village, to be honest with you. It kept us all together. We all went to school there, from kindergarten through sixth grade. And here we are on Powers Road, and we're passing the backside of Susan Roberts' house. The Powells lived down underneath there. The Greens lived across the street there. You had two separate Watts families, brothers that had families that lived over there. And, of course, we had, who else? Ronnie Lowell over there, Donnie Cates, Dickie Savoy there, Dave Dodge, the Sauciers, the Rileys, the Maleys, the McDonalds. Joyce and Kenny Powell lived in a two-bedroom here, raised three young ladies there, three beautiful daughters. And they moved down here just below her mom and dad when they had the three-bedroom over here, which was Larry Dow's old place. The Woodburys were there, the Estes. You had Billy Noon's grandfather Perkins over there. The Blacks were up here. Brenda Black and her mom. The Voses lived back up there on Devereaux Circle as well. The McDougalls over here, we're going to see their three-bedroom right there down below. They lived on the bottom floor. I didn't know too many people that lived on this part of Colin Kelly, and it's kind of surprising me because, I grew up here on Wormouth Road. But we had the Anthonys living above here, and, of course, the Libbies were there, the Gilmores, the Pelletiers, and the Amars kind of rounded out this corner here, the intersection. And waiting on traffic, there we go. All right, we had the Rickies in that three-bedroom there. Don Mundy and his wife lived across the street. Of course, Tommy Train moved in for a while. The Kreiders. We had Julie Dowling, the Noons, Billy Noon, his mom, Linda, and dad, David. The Pages used to live there, the Sawtells, the Coreys, Jerry and his sister Paula and their mom. The Spriggs used to live there when they were younger, and then they moved up onto Westbrook Street. My family, the Youngs, lived there. The Wilbers across the street. We had another Roberts family there. Let's see, the Verrills lived a couple houses back there. The Crockett's up above here in this three-bedroom off to the right. We had the Ellises that lived there. The Whites, Danny White and Jan White used to live in that three-bedroom across the way, along with the Bucknells. They moved from a two-bedroom on Wormouth up to that three-bedroom on Powers. You had the Rossettis. And again, I'm missing families, I'm sure of it, left and right. You had the Prescotts here, and the Badenhausens, and the Willises, Kelly, Kevin, and Kristen. Let's see, who else? Mrs. Beck used to live here. We used to call her Old Lady Beck, and we were kids, and kids are cruel. Not only cruel, but stupid. We were pretty fucking stupid back then. And I'm not afraid to admit it. We had the Beckwiths here. We had, who else was here? Oh, Larry Teenan's mom lived over there. The Browns, the Pools, the Melansons. Sue Yates moved in over there later on in years. They had the Cooks over here on the corner, and the Hinks, as well as the Houstons back there at the end of Colin Kelly Road. And here we are coming up on to Colin Kelly. Linwood Sherman lived in that three-bedroom off to the right with his lovely wife. And, of course, here's the Amar house. Now we're coming back out to the intersection of Wormouth Road and Colin Kelly. And I know I'm going to stop here because I've seen this video a million times, it seems like, for a little bit of traffic. One car, not a lot of traffic, but I have to stop. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And we're off again, going back down Colin Kelly Road. Now, Redbank was as I mentioned, a special place to grow up. Families knew one another for years. There were barbecues that we got together. One thing that I always remembered is like the holidays in that village around the times, when it started from Halloween and went through, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. But at the school, they used to have back in the day, big Halloween party that we could go to. And those streets, of course, on Halloween were just littered with kids going door to door, trick-or-treating. And most folks always had something to hand out, and that was pretty cool. In fact, we got people from other neighborhoods coming into Redbank just to do some trick-or-treating. And that was kind of neat, all in itself, to be honest. That's where the school used to sit, quite a bit, big grounds. Of course, you have the community building there again. It used to be a store, I believe, way back when. It was a village store, because Redbank was built as housing for shipyard workers during World War II. We built a lot of Liberty ships in the city of South Portland and sent them overseas. And there's Larry Albert's house right there. Now, of course, we're going back out MacArthur, and I believe I'm going to make a turn onto Westbrook Street and run Westbrook Street all the way up once we get around the corner there. Donnie McNeil actually lived in an apartment over there as well. Now, this is an old part of Gorham Road, which was actually cut off, and back up there now is retail spaces. So the road doesn't go through anymore. Now it's all parking lot. Old English Village is there. That was built in the very early 70s. Kind of like state-of-the-art housing for the time. They had a pool there that we would all go down and sneak into. It was supposed to be for residents of Old English only, but from time to time, we would make our way down there, hop the fence, and cool off until the maintenance director came around, found us, and kicked us out. The Smiths, who lived across the street from us when we were growing up, Turk and Sandy, their parents actually were the managers there for quite some time. And they knew us all well, So they weren't too awful bad on us, but they had a job to do as well. They had to keep the riffraff out, I suppose. Coming up here on the left is this new housing development, and this video is a couple years old, so it's actually been finished now, and they're working on the second set of it right next door to it. Of course, up there on the hill was the main youth center, the old BTC, which stood for Boys Training Center. It was a place to house juvenile offenders here in the state of Maine. And now that is all turned into private, housing, condos, doctor's offices, all that good stuff. Up here on the left is Cortland Court, which used to be a farm here. In fact, there's the old farmhouse still standing, and the barn still stands out back as well. Those were good days out there, good times out there. I remember every summer that field would catch fire, and I don't know if it was someone from the neighborhood setting it on fire or the gentleman who owned it himself trying to burn it off and have everything come back greener. There is the Portland International Jetport and the turnaround where we all would go down there and, park and smoke a little grass until the cops came by and threw us out of there. Nobody wanted us parking down there. I get it now, for sure. You definitely can't park down there now. They have security that comes down and says, hey, you got to move. And again, I get it. Now, this road right here, the Jetport Plaza Road, this was never here back in the day. This is all new here. Well, I say new, probably within, 15 years or so. This was all woodland back here. And, again, we played in these woods as kids without fear. You just went out there and you played, you had fun. God only knows what we were getting into. I'm sure there were a lot of chemicals that were dumped out there. from back in the day. And, a lot of us now have some pretty serious health issues, and we're only in our 50s and 60s. We're pretty young. I myself have a stage 4 cancer. My brother has a stage 4 cancer, and it's not a genetic thing. I had it tested. So it was definitely an environmental thing that caused it. God only knows what. There's no way to determine with those tests to tell you exactly what it is. But anyway, moving on. This is the Texas Instruments building, and of course, Fairchild National Semiconductor is all over there as well. Now, again, I mentioned that all of this wasn't here. This wasn't an access road. This is all like within the past probably 15, 20 years, I guess. And it's now, of course, it's all built up retail off to the left there as well. And the main mall would sit further out. If you went straight and kept going, you would certainly run into it. And the main turnpike is right across the way there. But yeah, things change, and they changed pretty rapidly here. A lot of it changed for me when I was in Maryland. I was down there for almost 10 years, and I got to tell you, I didn't realize so much had changed until I came back. And then you see it, and of course they call it progress, and time marches on whether we want it to or not. It is what it is. One of the things that Redbank, I guess, has been dealing with as of late in the news is the rent increases out there. Man, I just don't get it. I saw an old rent receipt that my mom had. I think the security deposit was $10, and the rent was $40. Or something like that. It wasn't very much. I mean, it was a lot for back then, I guess. But, considering what they're charging today, it's just kind of astronomical out there. Of course, you got to get the old YouTube ads in here. There we go. We're back. I'll edit that shit out. Let's see. Yeah, this is Western Avenue here, crossing in front of us. And we're going to go ahead and turn on to it. And come down the backside. Now, this road here used to just be one lane one way and one lane the other. Now it's 2 lanes either way with the turning lane in the middle. This has all, been built up over the years. The old Coca-Cola plant, bottling plant is up here. I don't know if they did bottling there or not. Drop a comment. Let me know. I know they certainly did distribution out of there, but that's the old plant. In fact, it's still going so far as I know today. And coming up on Foden Road. Now, we used to, when we were older, we would cut through these woods here, up here on the left, and cross this road and walk down Foden Road to the mall on something we called the mini bike trail, because we had, people had mini bikes back then, and they were riding them down through there and cutting trails into the woods. And of course, we all followed them as kids, as adventurous as we were, Let's see, what else is coming up here? Not a whole heck of a lot more. I mean, other than the retail spaces. Of course, the city finally did put a fire station out here on the west end. That was supposed to have been done many years prior to its actual building and being done. But, sometimes city government doesn't move at the pace we want it to. So, yeah, now there's just some doctor's offices over here on the right. Of course, the retail that's built up now, where there used to be nothing but trees. Some open field a little bit up here further, but, none of this was here. None of this backed up to Wainwright West or the village itself there. And this is Western Avenue, and we'll be coming back up onto I suppose it's Westbrook Street, splits, going back down to the mall, unless that's still Gorham Road there. It might still be Gorham Road. I don't know. I'm old. I forget. What do you want from me? If somebody knows, drop a comment. Let me know. Hey, and if you drop in comments, that's great. Just try not to be hateful or spiteful. I would really appreciate that. Like I said, I don't remember everything. That's why I'm asking you folks for comments. Y'all do remember some of it, especially like families that lived out there. If you lived out there and I didn't mention you, go ahead and drop it. Let us know who you were, where you lived, and how long you lived there. It'd be kind of interesting to see and to know. And that might jog my memory as well as others. You never know. I mean, people from Redbank now are all over the world, certainly all over this country. We've all spread out and gone our separate ways over the years. And again, that's, part of progress. We get old, we move on. God, this is a long traffic light, though. Holy old crap. Might have to edit some of this crap out, too. I'll tell you what. But yeah, up here on the left, again, all new retail spots. Subway, a dog washing place, one of those quick care places, Concentra, like a workman's comp doctor's office or something. And of course, we had the National Guard Armory right over there on the right. And as young men, we had Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts and Weeblos in there. And that was always fun to go to. And Clark's Pond down behind this gas station here as well. We do some fishing in there, a lot of catch and release. I never ate a damn thing out of that pond. And even as a child, I knew better. Because you could just see it sometimes. Some days there would be a sheen on that pond. And, way back in the day, they used to cut ice out of there and use it for refrigeration. Just amazes me. And, of course, this is the new 295 on-ramp that comes up and the new off-ramp there. Used to be the on-ramp over here on the left, just past the lights here, but they've done away with that, which is probably for the best. The traffic just can't handle it now. There's so many people that have come into the state and into the city. And that's the end of that video. Like I said, if you have a moment and you want to drop a comment, feel free to. We'd love to hear from you. Again, leave a name, number, not a number. You leaving a voicemail? No. Leave your name and let us know where you lived there and how many years you were out there. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Peace to all my Redbank brothers and sisters. Love y'all. Hope everybody is doing well, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.